Betty Lynn Fisher, consumer columnist with the Akron Beacon Journal and Ohio.com, and I am here with Lynn Poulton, the owner of Akron-based Wholly Organized. Lynn's going to team up with me, and we are going to help readers get organized in different parts of their lives. Maybe perhaps in their home, at the office, the email inboxes. So for the first one, I decided to fall on the sword a little bit and expose my embarrassing craft room. This 4 years ago, I couldn't stand it, and I made it over, and it was really beautiful, and I have pictures of it really beautiful. Right. And then it turned into, obviously, the dumping ground. I don't use it very often because I don't want to come down here. And so when I was talking to Lynn about a possible project, she was saying this was a perfect one because probably a lot of us have rooms like this in our house.
We all have a dumping ground.
Right, right.
I've actually been a social worker for over 20 years.
Very good when you work with.
It really helps with processing information and decision making and getting over fears, and right. Really I give a lot of people a lot of slack and give people permission, you know, to not do, you know, not to rush through the process. So I'm thrilled to be working with you. I think this is, and it is an absolute privilege to be invited into your home.
Oh, thank you. And I guess I just need to just say, this is my messiest room in the house. That I actually showed Lynn my kitchen.
Your house
is all
is
nice
beautiful.
And clean. So I don't want people to think that this is how I live. And well, this is usually why I don't come down here, right? But I'm excited to again get this to a place where I want to come down.
So that's one of your goals.
Right.
You know, as a professional organizer, I am not here to tell you what to do. Mm-hmm. You are the absolute boss. Mm-hmm. And I am not saying that you have to get rid of anything. It's all like, you know, comes back to, you know, what are your goals? And so we'll be talking about that. Yeah. So before we start any project, like we just discussed goals, great. You want to just have a few simple supplies. So I want to just point out what we have, right? So I have either Post-its or painter's tape. I love painter's tape. It's easy. And a Sharpie. Okay, so that's just for labeling things. And then, you know, we have a bag here for shred. And then we've got your recycling bin if there's papers. We've got a black trash bag, right? Donate if there's anything that you come across, like crayons, you know, so we can put them in this bin. And then we have a bin that we just labeled it live somewhere else. So you don't want it to live in this space. You want to keep it, but it goes somewhere else in the house.
Right.
Does that all make sense?
It sure does.
Okay, so just a few supplies. If you get started on a project and you don't have, you know, something that resembles these kind of supplies, then you're going to end up leaving the room, maybe getting distracted and not getting started. So here we are with our timer. And so we want to try to see, well, what we're going to like try to beat the clock. What could you get done in 20 minutes? Now, are you someone that wants to start at one end of the room and work around? Again, there's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know, probably. And you and I talked about this as well. Sometimes I can get really motivated where I was originally saying I wanted to have this room done in a week, you know, just to get it done. And you said that that may not be realistic and you kind of have to have, you know, because if it's too daunting, I may not do it, right? So the other thing I thought that you said really that we talked about yesterday was set the timer for 20 minutes. So, you know, everybody has 20 minutes they can give. And then at the end of 20 minutes, decide if you want to give more or walk out.
Right. Am I going to stop?
Okay.
And then if I stop, then you want to take your live somewhere else and you want to try to put these things back. And it's, you know how there's a lot of talk about mindfulness? It's really incredible how little time some things take to do.
Right.
You know, just putting the scissors back. So try to do your best to get the things put away or at least in the room where they live. When you're done, and then, you know, look at your calendar and try to figure out when am I going to work on this again.
Kind of make an appointment with yourself.
Make an appointment with yourself.
Okay.
So all right. So I want to also say that we don't live in after pictures. You've got a beautiful space here, and I want you to think about function for yourself. You've got things that are displayed that probably inspire you. Ask yourself, do these things still inspire me? Do I still want to look at these things, or is it time to kind of rotate? But think about how, this space can be better for you.
Right.
Not perfect,
Right.
because
We don't live in a magazine cover, though
We
we all want
don't.
to. No, I get it.
So Lynn and I quickly got to work, sorting through envelopes, putting them in like sizes, so I could quickly see which ones were good enough to keep and only the ones that would fit in that tote. And then the other ones I would recycle or dispose of. These new rules also helped me when new envelopes came in to know that I didn't need them because I already had enough in the tote. She also helped me with some other rules.
because if we kept, and there's people that have hoarding disorder that don't do this, if we keep everything just in case, or I might want it one day, then our homes become these storage areas, and they're not
Right.
storage area, not a living space.
Right, right. And I do, and I mean, I'll recognize that I do, obviously, with envelopes or like with bags. I have a little area of like kind of just brown paper bags. I probably don't need 10 of them.
And don't feel rushed to, if a decision doesn't come to you right away, don't force yourself to make a decision. Oftentimes you could just have a question box, like you just don't know.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, okay, great.
Right?
Thank you for the tips, and I will keep you all updated on this room and show you the final product.
After Lynn left, and in 20-minute increments, and through the power of cool technology like time-lapse video, where I look really efficient, you can see that I got quite a bit done. So here's a few snippets from those.
Hi, so it's January 17th, about a week and a half after I started working on this really messy room with the professional organizer Lynn Poulton. As you can see, I've done pretty well. This is about work after about 2 hours and 20 minutes. I had the 1 hour with Lynn, and then I did these in 20-minute increments. I actually wanted to do some more, but life got in the way, and my daughter had her wisdom teeth taken out, and I needed to be nurse mom, and frankly, life gets in the way. We don't all have all the time that we want to finish these projects, so I do need to be aware of that, and everybody needs to give themselves a break on that. What I did, as you can see, is I got through all of those totes in the middle of the room. There's still maybe one more. I'm finding in other parts of the house other things that were cluttered that I'm also bringing in here and using this as a staging area to then find the right place. School binders, more envelopes that I'm recycling, things like that. I recycled a lot. I have several totes of recycle. I've thrown out a lot. My donation, I have a big tote in the outside about donation. Recycled a lot of envelopes. And have just decluttered in here. So I feel pretty good. There's still a lot more to go. Now I need to go kind of into the individual areas and repurpose and declutter those areas and go through that. One tip that I did notice that I told Lynn about is the things that live elsewhere. She said she didn't want me leaving the room because it's so easy to get distracted and in your 20 minutes not get anything done. One day I had that and it was overflowing. And I was tired after 20-25 minutes, and I just didn't want to empty it. And I really was very tempted to I took it out of the room, and I was going to leave it there, and I was like, I'll get to it later. And I really forced myself to go through that tote and find where it lived elsewhere in the house. And it only took about 13 minutes, so it really wasn't that much time, and that was a little productive. So I'm going to keep plugging away at this, and I will continue to document my process. And next month I'll write another column and show you the final pictures. And I hope this helps motivate you as well.